Crap. This campaign unlocks new adventures and all new map with new locations and new formation. Great. I'm going back to Sword Coast. I'm just staying here. Thanks. Okay, next up is Terror in the Dark. However, it's locked. See how it's got a lock symbol on it? We can't actually do it yet. Because if we look up here, the red X's must have completed 11 Grand Tour adventures or variants. We've only completed 4. This is early on. Oh, we're in an ad break. Early on, it's going to force you to do variants. And I hate it. And I hate it. So, my God, did they put a lock on? Oh, they did. Okay. All right. So this is where my new player reference comes in handy. I'll bring it up. I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to get ready to use it once we come back from the ad break. Once we come back from the ad break. All right, I think we're back from the ad break. So the problem we run into now is we've completed Curse Farmer, Mad Wizard, and Beast Intentions, but we can't keep doing adventures, the normal storyline adventures. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be stopping and doing variants, but the game's going to force us to. I don't like it, but it's the way they designed the early game. So how do we get around? How do we do this in a way that's good? Because here's the problem. Variants are harder versions of all the base adventures. They have restrictions, and even though it shows as difficulty easy, that's just a function of your gold find. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. I use this example often. I'm going to use it here and now. It's like going to a theme park and having a roller coaster with a sign that says you must be this tall to ride this ride. That just means it's safe for you to get on. It doesn't mean you're going to enjoy it. Okay, so if it shows as difficulty easy, safe for you to attempt, they're telling you you've probably got approximately the right amount of gold to attempt this, doesn't mean you're going to enjoy it or even be able to beat it. That's determined by the restriction. So this says 4 slots of my formation are occupied by chickens. Each of these slots means 1 less champion, which means a lot of lost power. This is one of the hardest variants for a new player. It's basically impossible. It's in the name. They're daring you to do something you shouldn't do. So we're not doing this. Unfortunately, these others are also locked behind complete a certain number of adventures, so I can't skip it to get to something easier. I got to find an easy one that's already open. What do I have in my tutorial? We did... did I list off which... Did I not list off? I don't think I gave a list of which variants I did. I thought I did. Huh. I might have to add that to the next one, I think. Oh, dark. Okay. So, let me look at this. So, Arya Chicken definitely off the list. We have 3, 6, 9 available to us, and we need to do 7. Arya Chicken is not going to happen. And that basically means we can't, we'll come back into these if we can get there. Friendly Imps. 3 friendly imps take up slots in information trying to help you. Unfortunately, not very effective. There's more lost stuff. So that pushes us into Were-verpowered. Make a note. So we're going to do Were-verpowered because the other 2, real bad. Real bad. So, yes, Pascar let me down by not making a note on this. That guy. Werebeasts have their health, damage, and speed dramatically increased. Well, that's fine. I would rather have that. We just pushed to almost 150. We only need to get to 75. I'll take some stronger enemies instead of losing in like multiple 3 or 4 champions. All right, so we're going to do Were-verpowered. We're only going to go to 75. When you're doing a variant, the goal is just to get to the variant and then bounce. And then bounce. So this is going to... Oh, man, we got an ad pop up. This is going to take a little while because I'm not going to run a speed potion here. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm just going to click on some champions. I'm not really going to level them up. We just got another achievement. The only one I really want to focus on leveling up here is Jarlaxle for the gold find. We're going to kill with click damage. We're already at level 15. If we can get this to 75 before this gets to 75, we can just basically clear this with click damage. If not, if we run into a difficult boss, we'll need to level up Nayeli to tank. But this is what we want to look at. So we're going to do Were-verpowered, and then after, if we go look, after Were-verpowered, we'll do a persistent buzzing. Oh, wait, can we? No, we can't. Persistent buzzing wants 6 done, and we'll only have 5 done. So we'll have to come back up here. They want 6. All of these want 6. Oh, no. Oof. Why are they killing me? They're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. This is a problem. We'll have to do friendly imps. Arya Chicken is too much. We'll have to attempt friendly imps. That sucks. I could have sworn one of these was 5. But they're not. They're 6. They all want 6. I hate these early restrictions. I wish they'd get rid of them. All right, well, we're going to have to try to struggle through some, well, we shouldn't struggle too much through friendly imps. Again, we should be able to, we'll find out right now if we have enough gold, or enough gold find to just click our way through it. If we do, we're fine. That doesn't usually happen in Arya Chicken, but we did do 2 deep pushes for favor in a row, which reminds me, we just started a new run. I'm going to go back over and I'm going to click this button. I know it looks like I could buy this. I don't know if I could without it setting off a warning. Find out. Yep, set off the warning. So we always say nope with the warning. So here we go. I'm going to give us a bunch more damage. Okay, we're up to 400% damage. We were 150% before, so this means we're going to push a lot better. I'm going to give us more favor when we reset. Yep, now we get 4% more. Doesn't sound like a lot, folks, but every little bit adds up. I don't care about resetting the cooldowns of base attacks right now. I'm not going to bother with that. You know, there's an argument for it, but I'm just not going to choose not to. I'm going to choose not to. Now let's go see how we're looking on our collections. We completed some things. Unlock tomb. Great. Give us a reward that we can't use right now. Obtained 5 Grand Tour blessings. Great. And give us a reward that we can't use right now. So these are just, you know, once again, corrupted gems are not really helping us early on like we'd like. And now it's directing us towards more tomb stuff, but we're not going there yet. Our first goal is something that these gold borders are trying to tell us to do. Well, at least one of these gold borders is trying to tell us to do. And that's complete 5 adventures. This gold border, I gave this feedback to them, is trying to direct us towards unlocking Drizzt. But right now, we don't understand, with the way this is presented, what each of these guide quests is guiding us towards and which we should prioritize. It's this one. This is our priority right now. We don't even have the quest thing. I don't know why it lets us do that when we don't even have a tracker yet. You know, they need to fix that. Hold on, I got to put that in my feedback. Where is it? Here we go. Basically, I'm keeping lots and lots and lots of notes, so hopefully they can improve the new player experience with this, because it does need a lot of polishing now. Now that we have the nice guide quests in, they need to actually guide you and reward you well, and then you polish up all the stuff around it to make sure that the whole experience is good. Are the guide quests guiding you? No, not really, Shevik, unfortunately. I had a big conversation with Pete yesterday about that. It's definitely they're rewarding us for doing things, but they're not guiding us anywhere, which is a little bit of a miss. But the system is now there, and now they just need to tweak it to do that. I don't know if the tracker works or not because I don't have a tracker on my new player account. I haven't tested it on my main account. No, I wouldn't say there's if Vola wrote them. They're just functionally they're not delivering on the guide part yet. They're invisible. There isn't a whole lot that you know, the little claim reward thing pops up, but that's like the first time you know about it. And if you can't track them on your screen, like, yeah, so there's obviously some quality of life improvements that need to happen with the guide, with the collection system overall. And but they've already stated yesterday on Dev Insights that they expect to have a patch out, you know, with some fixes for that within the week, like next week at the latest, right? So it's probably not going to, if it doesn't happen today, then hopefully at some point next week, some of the priority fixes that are necessary will be in, but then it's just going to be a iteration, right? Which takes time. Collections 2.0.1. Well, it's collections 2.0.1. First patch, yeah. You gotta constantly iterate, right? Now we are seeing oh wow, my weekly party has Jarlaxle buffs. Nice. Wait, why does it say duration 0 seconds? I don't understand. And then Celeste, man, that's giving us triple gold right now. That's a great time to be starting a new account. But why does it say 0 seconds? Is that the default weekly party? That's great. Okay. I don't know why would this be the default weekly party with Evelyn in it? Shouldn't it be 3 new players? Like our core champions, I mean. Should we be weekend party now? Oh, that's the problem. It ended. It ended and I haven't reset. Okay, hold on. I'm going to restart my client. That's what Justin gave us when he messed things up. I forgot it. That was a long time ago. Man, I wanted that. I wanted that. That was great. All right. Okay. That's a garbage for me. That's garbage for me. It's a Magical Secrets weekend. And you know, it's not good to keep secrets from people, folks. It's garbage. I don't need any of this. I'm not using Minsk. Archon definitely not getting used. All the rest are champions I don't own. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Let's go take a look. What's the sweetener this week? Is it Spoils of War? It's a golden. Oh my god! Wow, they really like us because in the emergence event they gave us the golden epic for her specializations item, which is her multiplicatively stacking item, like her pre-stack modifier, and this is her speed function. So this is a good week for Dynaheir users. And then this is what's on sale this week. 350 familiar. This is a free to play account though, so I won't be doing anything like that. Let's go over to gem items. We're going to buy 4 more chests. We got some gems. Let's open those. all whites, but that's fine. We needed some whites in places. All right. Can you implement the Volo command? I don't know. It's in my theme song. We don't really use that over here though. I'm gonna start testing to see if you can work fire breath in your gem farm. Oof. Good luck. Yeah, I think that's all I can say to that. I don't know. Feels problematic. I watched Jason Charles Miller's Show of Shows. I watched one episode. I'm usually not at my computer when it's on, is the problem. I caught part of one episode before Critical Role, like last week, I think. Not this week, though. Yesterday I was busy watching Formula One. Formula One's back. We record like the practices, like the and qualifiers and stuff. I watch all of it. Not just race day. So we had 2 practices yesterday in Formula One, and then we have tonight. I'll watch the practice session and the qualifier session. It needs to go exactly 88 miles per hour. It doesn't work. Well, that's only if you want him to jump back through time and be able to jump all bosses and not just in a free play. Wait. Wait, that's an 88 skip priv. Someone will get there someday because it feels like they're just never going to do anything to fix that problem. All right. Master of Piracy we've reached our goal. We got our gold boost going on. We're up to EOS 246, EOS 6 gold find. And we just need to get Hitch in. That'll give us another boost to gold find. Because that's another rogue for Jarlaxle. Hitch doesn't give anything directly. I can tell how far your Briv would skip. So if you go into the Formation Buffs tab and you look at Unnatural Haste, it'll say percent chance to skip one area and another percent chance to skip 2. Or if it doesn't say and another chance, it means you're still working towards 100% chance to skip 1. But otherwise it'll say 100% chance to skip 1 and a certain percent chance to skip 2, or it'll say or on and so forth. 100% chance to skip 4, small percent chance to skip 5. Like it's going to read out directly for you. You just have to understand what you're looking at. I don't want to fast forward to next year with Hamilton and Ferrari. Oof. Look, it's going to be interesting, right? It's so interesting that when a driver declares even before the current season that in the next season they're going to be racing with another team, it's like, oh, get the popcorn out. This is going to be a season of drama, right? But yeah, man, I think right now I just really want to see if Ferrari's moving in a good direction so that when Hamilton gets there, it can pop off, because I really want that. I really like Lewis Hamilton a lot. I'd really love to see that pop off. Hamilton, I'm very much in team hashtag Hamilton was robbed of their eighth championship. So I really want them to be able to come back and win another one. But I think what I've seen so far in free practice is, I mean, it's very hard. We don't really know, like, did they have the engines turned all the way up? How much fuel were they running? But things look good in the free practices. We'll see how qualifiers turn out, just to see an overall speed. But really, this first race will give us some kind of look at whether Mercedes delivered a better car for Hamilton this year or not. I mean, that's why he's leaving. That's why he's leaving, because they weren't listening to him and they ignored him multiple years in a row. And he's just, I'm over this, right? There's a lot of talk now. Well, it's Mercedes' decision and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't just decide to dump a 7-time world champion when you're the reason they haven't been winning. You can spin it all you want. I randomly got into racing and binged the F1 series in the new season. Yes, if you haven't, I got hooked on F1. My old roommate a long time ago would watch it. He did not get me properly excited for it, or I'd have been a long time F1 fan. But I watched Drive to Survive on Netflix, and it is very worth. I don't know. It's just drama, but it's like high stakes drama. Like, I don't like reality TV drama stuff, but I like this. And then we started watching F1 all the time. He's not going to miss his shot. Wait, wrong Hamilton. I mean, look, same feeling, same energy, same energy. Ferrari's moving in a good direction. Ford is the most preferred direction. Well, but in terms of their car development, they were moving in a better direction towards the end of last season. But Red Bull just had a ridiculously strong car last year. Race. I may have seen that. I watched a bunch of stuff over the last few years and racing stuff, but I'm from the Netherlands, so I do not agree. Understandable. No, I get it. But I am like, it's for me. It's like, okay, let's relate this back to Idle Champions. Currently, Max Verstappen was Artemis, and if you know me, not a fan of Artemis. I get why people like him. I would just like to see some more competitiveness in the Idle Champions DPS race. And I feel the same way about Formula One. When it's the same person standing on the top of the podium every time, I get bored. Thought experiment which F1 team represents corresponds to each of the speed champions. Oh, it's not even the speed champions. Like I said, Max Verstappen's currently Artemis. Yeah. Which team is Xander? Oh no. Oh, if we want to do teams, Red Bull is Artemis. Xander is Haas, unfortunately. I feel real bad. I always liked Gunter Steiner. Sad to see him no longer. But it really felt like he just didn't want to be there. It really felt like he had enough. And I understand that mentality, even though they're like, Haas decided to get rid of him. I'm like, you didn't watch Drive to Survive. He wanted out. He really wanted out. Oh, yeah. There's a new anime out called Overtake that is F3, F4. Oh, like the lower ones? Interesting. I don't really watch anime, but that's neat. Yeah, Xander's definitely Haas, yeah. You got a small fire breath working on Vecna Libs? Interesting. I'm not sure what that offers other than a way to burn potions, though. And I would rather keep the potions, potentially, for alchemy, right? Where are we at? 52. Okay, we're still a ways. We're still in the 30s. Good. Hamilton's a goat. Yeah, he is. He really is. I mean, I was looking at his stats yesterday during the practices. And it's like he started in like just over 300, or like 320-something races, or 330 races. And he finished in the top 10 in 288 of them. And on the podium for like a ridiculous number of that. Like he has had an amazing career. And it just kind of really felt like the worst possible situation, of basically having his 8th championship stolen. And then the next year, the team takes the car in a direction that's just garbage. It was like, oh. Ooh. Like, I just really feel for that. It just feels real bad. Like, we're talking Binwin level nerf, folks. It went from Bennett to win it to Benchwarmer, unfortunately. And, you know, when you do that with a 7-time world champion, like, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. NASCAR is just standard idle champions. It just all goes in one direction. I tried to watch NASCAR last season. Like I watched, I don't know, we were doing something and it was on and we didn't have anything else to watch. So I flipped it on there and I was just so confused. I was just so confused by everything that was going on. And then I watched a absolutely horrendous wreck. Like got pushed off into the middle of the track and then just in like side over side multiple times through the middle of the track. And then the guy walks out and I'm like, oh, what just happened? And nothing stopped on the track. They just kept going. What is this? What is going on? I don't know. I don't understand it. I do like endurance racing though, like the 24 Hours Le Mans. I watched my first 24 Hours Le Mans last year. And then tried to watch some more, but they just don't get televised in the US. With season boons forcing a full set of potions, will be forced into Fire Breath if you buy an event DLC. What? You mean event? Wait, are you talking DLC? Oh, DLC boons. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen. I guess I haven't seen what those look like yet. I don't always trust blog pictures. Doesn't always represent the final thing, so we'll see. I like seasons, racing seasons when you have a different winner every race. Yeah. That's exciting. Like when you're always having a fight to see who's going to be the best. It's good. But when the fight is like, who's going to come in second and first is so far away that they're literally watching the TVs as they're driving around the track because they don't have to focus. That's a little ridiculous. Where did Monster Trucks come in? I haven't watched Monster Truck stuff since I was a kid, unfortunately. Back when I was still, well, no, I was going to say, back when I was watching wrestling, but I also watched some wrestling in college. It's very much like a drama thing. Feels like a lot like wrestling. It's entertainment. It's amazing. I mean, you got to be amazing to do that stuff. It's still entertainment. Maybe there needs to be a Dev Insights question. If we can't disable a boon, maybe we won't buy anything. So I guess I didn't. Hold on. Let me go back and read this. I saw that there were event buffs. And I saw that there was a boon if you buy certain DLC. But I didn't. I guess they didn't see where they said that specifically sets of potions. So event buffs associated with champions that last for 60 days. I don't see anything about... Oh, there are 4 tiers of event boons that offer buffs to champion damage, gold find, champion health, click damage, and speed. Okay. But I guess because that doesn't tell me exactly what's happening there, I wasn't like freaking out about it. I don't know. That's different to me than you're automatically given potions. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't see the information you're making these statements based off of. I see that there's some kind of buff to click damage, but that doesn't mean they're giving you fire breath potions. I don't get that jump. I don't get that that leap. So you watch IMSA now. Yeah. Every race should be lit up like Vegas and the cars need neon lights. I mean, they raced in Vegas. I don't know if you're making this as a joke or commenting that. I mean, they had a race in Vegas last year for the first time in decades. It had probably the worst the worst situation happen. Oh, we're in an outbreak. We'll come back to that. We're up to 61 on our click damage, so we're getting close. I was like, can we get all the way to 75 with click damage? And with the favor that we got, we very well might. About 30 seconds, and I'll go back to hitting up chat. Okay, we're back. Okay, what was it? Yeah, I'm not understanding the jump to. I get that those are the boons and that's what they're targeting, but saying that's going to be the equivalent of a fire breath potion, I don't see anything in there that says that. So until we see what it is, I mean, is it going to mess with Briv gem farming? Yes, but that's for those are some of those are for the tiers of blessings. I mean, there's some buffs with tiers of variance, and then there's if you buy DLC. I mean, if it's an always-on feature, kind of a problem. I mean, kind of a problem if it's going to affect click damage. Well, if it's going to affect all of this, it's kind of a problem. Because here's the thing. We have these potions. Here's a back in my day. Idle Champions history with Garwar. These potions of the Hunter and Gold Hunter and Gem Hunter and Psychomorphic Energy. We have these as potions specifically because back in the day, this was a buff. This was a 7-day buff that just straight up got applied to your account when you made a purchase. You didn't get to choose when you got it. And they were really poorly timed. Like this one, this was in the Modron starter pack. Well, you didn't need a 7-day buff to Modron core outputs when you had a level 1 Modron core. So they converted these into potions, right? And I think we're going to probably see that same kind of backlash with this rest of the stuff. If it's just mimicking potions, then why not just give us potions that we can choose to use? You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, iteration. But here's one thing that I don't know that they're going to care about, that people seem to keep thinking they're caring about. They don't care if they screw up your Briv Gem farm. That's not a designed form of gameplay. That's an emergent form of gameplay, and one they don't really like that much. They've supported it in one way. They gave us that wasted haste feat. They gave you some support for low levels of it, but they feel it's they've stated clearly on Dev Insights, they feel it's problematic for the game. They just don't know how to deal with it yet. So I don't know that they're going to, if you come at it from that kind of point of view of it's ruining my gem farm, I think they're going to be like, I don't think they're going to say good on Dev Insights, but I think they're probably going to be thinking it, and they're just going to be like, well, this is what we're doing right now. Because if you can't find another reason, you got to find some other way of that big problem. And you can probably harken back to, look, we have those 7-day potions for a reason. It's because people don't like auto-applied buffs from purchases. It just discourages the purchase. That, hit them in their wallet. Yeah, but if you bring up Briv Gem farms, like it's screwing up a Briv Gem farm, I think you're losing that fight. Did I watch the Dakar Rally? No, I don't know if that stuff gets televised in the US. I might have to find it. If they have like a VOD of it on the internet, I can probably watch it that way. That's how I watched the 24 Hours Le Mans, was I pulled up the YouTube video after it was over and just watched it a few hours at a time over the course of like a week. The race in Vegas and tearing up that car was tragic. It was. It was absolutely horrendous. For those of you who are uninitiated in F1, they were literally racing. Part of the Vegas racetrack is the strip. And one of the Ferrari drivers was flying along in his car, 150 miles an hour. And when you're going that fast, there's a suction because the pressure that keeps the car down on the track instead of it turning into an airplane is pulling the car down and pulling the ground up. And it went over like a tiny little I want to say manhole cover, but it wasn't that big, and sucked it up and destroyed the whole bottom of the car and the drivetrain and everything. And that was after they had gone in and tried to lay cement over it temporarily for the races to try to keep it down. It sucked it right up anyway. Absolutely destroyed the bottom of the car. They had to rebuild it. And because they had already used their allotted amounts of certain parts for the season, which is a thing, they got a 10 spot penalty for the races, for the starting grid lineup, effectively taking a car that was second in pole, like one off pole position, put them all the way back to 12th place and basically screwed them over for the whole race because of something that had nothing to do with them and was all about the track. I mean, it had the potential to lose them millions and millions and millions of dollars. Horrible. Anyway, hail hydrate. Yeah, if it happened again, good Lord. I mean, they just shouldn't be risking that, or they have to change the rules. But I would say they just shouldn't be risking that, because even if it happens again, even if they fix the rule and they don't take away the 10 spots, if that specific combination occurs, you're still costing a company a ton of money, right? What about click debuff formations? I don't think they care about click debuff anymore, because click debuff, it basically destroys your computer and your frame rate. If you want to do that, go for it. But yeah, it's actually been, click debuff has been basically made irrelevant by legendary effects. The issue is that if enough people are Briv gem farming and they don't want to mess up with Fire Breath, and they're discouraged from buying anything. Here's the thing. I try to make this clear. The number of people that Briv gem farm is small enough to effectively be insignificant in those kinds of considerations. The fact that they even gave people a 4 jump feat shocks me to this day. People vastly overestimate the number of people that are Briv gem farming. Like street tracks. I like street tracks. They got to be safe for everybody involved, right? Right. Happening in preseason testing? That's not great. It's not great. All right, we got our click level up to 69. Nice. We're also at 66, so it's going to be real close as to whether we can get all the way through 75 here, just with click damage. But it's close enough that I think we should be okay on the other adventures. This is why I did 2 deep runs for Favor in a row, because Favor is the big stick you beat things with early on. So that's going to help us here quite a bit. All right, Looking Rider. What if the 10K active users in a given time? I don't know. Justin's been throwing that number around, and I was like, I wonder if that's just like average active users. But I don't know if it is. He just likes that number lately. But yeah, I mean, but not out of well, maybe, yeah, out of active at any given time. Yeah, it's probably small percent. But you got to remember, active at any time is a portion, a small portion of total players, right? The majority of the player base, this is going to be a very positive thing if they buy in. But yeah, I mean, here's the problem: is the gem economy was broken quite a long time before Briv ever arrived, and they knew it was, which is why when they released patrons had their own shop with their own currency you earned. It was because they didn't want to give gems as a reward for anything anymore because that economy was broken, and it's remained broken to this day. And it's only got, and Briv broke it even more, right? They never really found a fix. Right? Whenever you build economies in games, I think we've talked about this before on stream too, you have to have an input and an output, and they need to be equal. You want to get them as close to equal as possible, because if you have more of an input than an output, then it's kind of then you get into a situation like this where when people push it to high levels, you just end up with so many gems that putting stuff in the game purchased with gems isn't even really meaningful. There isn't really work involved to get it. And if you have the output too high, you end up with a game like Raid and their silver economy, where you just can never get enough silver and you're gated incredibly hard by it. Okay, we need to. Yeah, this guy's gonna get to the tank. Maybe. We're actually having to level up some now just to keep the tank alive. We'll go ahead and dump. Well, we were at 72 there. We might have to worry about the tank or with the boss on 75. So yeah, they've always kind of had, and it's very difficult to get that tuning right, but they just kind of gave up on it years ago. Honestly, don't we all run the game 24/7? No. 39.53 in game on Steam. How many are gem farming? I'd say 1%, and I think that's being generous. Yeah. Might be a little more because it's actually PC might be leaned a little more heavily towards Briv gem farming, so maybe 5% on PC. But then once you get onto like consoles and mobiles, probably not at all. Probably none at all. And so you got to think about the overall total community, right? So I think overall 1% probably at best of the community. That's at best. Might be gem farming, Briv gem farming, the total community. But it's more heavily weighted towards those on PC. And I don't think the other platforms do it at all. I think it's way too difficult. And you got to leave it open, right? And you can't. That's not really how you play on mobile or console, really. I mean, you can on console, I guess, but. No, specifically, not Letty, not just gem farming. Briv gem farming. Briv gem farming. And again, it's probably 5% on PC. Maybe. But overall, I'd say 1% or less. But that's effectively, a small, nearly insignificant portion of your population when you're trying to make game balance decisions, right? I mean, it's there and you have to think about it, but it's not your priority. Your priority is the other 95%, right? Especially if whatever it is that you're looking at isn't healthy for the game, and it's not. Can assume over 50% on Discord. I think that might still be too many. Remember, there's like 30,000 people in the Discord. No, I cannot assume over 50%. Now, if we're talking active users, get me an active user number. It's probably less than the number of people playing on Steam right now. So again, probably it's probably going to be higher than just Steam users because you're in there sharing information. But I don't think anywhere near 50% of even active users of Discord, but definitely not total users of Discord. All right, we finished 75. We are not really looking, I'm going to hit continue here, but we are not really looking for a favor gain here, because to gain favor, last time we had to go to what, 100, close to 150. We are seeing a small increase here. If I had used potions, I would want to keep going, but I did not, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop because I want to churn because we're going too slow. I want to churn. So we got Were-verpowered and nothing else unlocked yet. So I'm going to have to go up and do friendly imps. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. But friendly imps gives me more champions